So I thought that smart rings were just another wellness gimmick. I mean, I couldn't fathom how something so tiny could possibly pack enough tech in it to make it more useful than something like my Apple Watch or my smartphone. But within 24 hours of putting this thing on, I already knew that I was probably not going to take this off anytime soon. And since getting this ring 2 weeks ago, I have only taken it off one time to charge. So what is so special about this tiny little ring? Right before I get into that, let me just tell you what ring I'm wearing first, because there's a ton of them on the market. This is the RingConn Gen 2. I paid for this with my own hard-earned money. This was not free. This video is not sponsored. I just really wanted to figure out what was going on and what the details was on the smart ring stuff. If you watch my channel, you know I love wearable tech, and I cover a lot of wearable tech, including like the Ray-Ban Metas, other AR glasses, and also virtual reality games and technology. Anyway, so I wanted to give this little baby a try. So RingConn Gen 2. Okay, the first thing that surprised me about this little ring is how much data you actually get off of this. Okay, it tracks your sleep, but not just your sleep. It tracks your time asleep, the time you were in bed, your sleep efficiency in terms of a percentage, how long you slept in every single stage. So how long you were awake, how long you were in REM sleep, how long you were in light sleep, and how long you were in deep sleep. It tracks your heart rate throughout the day. It checks your heart rate variability, your SpO2, which is your oxygen saturation, your skin temperature. It knows your skin temperature throughout the day, your respiratory rate, stress levels, your vital signs, your activity. Man, it just it tracks so much data in this little thing. And the thing is, you know, I used to wear my Apple Watch for years. I had an Apple Watch for years. I finally stopped wearing it probably about a year ago. The reason being I dropped it during one of my workouts. Well, I didn't drop it. It fell off my wrist during one of my workouts, and then the back shattered. And then all of a sudden it was unable to track my heart rate. So then there was no point to wear it anymore. Anyway, so I used to wear my Apple Watch for years, but the problem with that is like, especially if you work out a lot, your wrist gets really sweaty. And then also you have to remember to put it on. And sometimes it feels like it clashes with your outfit a little bit. And then also you have to charge it frequently. That's the key thing with the Apple Watch, is you have to charge it frequently, every single night actually. Whereas this little ring, it says that you can go like around 10 days on average without charging it. And that's been about my experience. It almost feels illegal to not have to charge it so frequently. You know what else feels really illegal about this stupid ring is wearing it while washing the dishes, wearing it while in the shower. Yeah, I wear it like everywhere and it's perfectly fine. You can get it wet, you can do whatever you want. I don't know if you can go swimming with it. I haven't tried that. I don't know if I will try that because I feel like it'll just slip off my finger anyway and fall into oblivion. But the reason that that is important is that this is tracking data, like different biometric things about me 24/7. And so that's something I did not get with my Apple Watch. I was not getting the accuracy of my sleep data. That's pretty crazy. Before I continue, I did want to share that the reason I got the RingConn Gen 2 over like the Aura or whatever the other rings are is because this one I saw did not have a subscription. And I'm like, this ring is already $300 before like taxes and shipping and all that stuff. And if you have to pay a subscription on top of that, that just felt like too much money for me to want to drop on something that I wasn't even sure if I was going to like. I mean, it's not a crazy amount, but considering that this ring was $299, it adds up if I'm having to spend another like $70 a year on subscription costs. So there's a couple of reasons why I really love this ring. And there's a couple of factors that have been going on in my life that I think this ring has been very helpful for. So the first things first, you know, I am getting older. Actually, it is my birthday in a couple of days. So by the time this video goes out, my birthday will have just passed. Anyway, so I am getting older and I want to make sure that I'm still taking care of my health and that I am like staying relatively active. But like as you get older, you don't have as much time and you might not have as much like energy. And so I was like, okay, what are the things that I could do that are pretty low effort that can still like, you know, mean something? So it's pretty terrible, but on my bad days, I only get like 3,000 steps in a day. So I was like, okay, maybe if I can at least hit 5,000 steps a day, that would be fantastic. And guess what I found out from this little ring? So I always have my phone on me pretty much. And from my phone, it was tracking that I was stepping maybe around 3,000 to 5,000 steps a day. With now having my ring on, I'm actually averaging about 8,000 steps a day. And that's with me not doing anything extra. That's just walking around the house. I mean, I guess I started realizing that I am like running back and forth around my house all day and I don't always have my phone on me. So first things first, this has been really good for tracking my activity levels and just letting me know that I'm getting the accurate amount of steps without having to wear a chunky watch. Especially now that it's summer, I actually have I have this really weird thing where I'm allergic to like my own sweat. And so if I sweat too much, especially if there's jewelry on it, I'll break out in a rash. So I actually can't wear a watch or something that's like a bit thicker because of all the sweat, and then I just break out in rashes. But this does not make me break out in rashes. So that's the first thing, was my activity level became insanely accurate. The second thing was like my stress. I didn't know that you can track stress. And to be honest, I'm still a little bit new to this, so I don't really understand the whole thing around it. But apparently it tracks your stress through your heart rate and heart rate variability, which measures whether you are in a stressed or relaxed state. So I guess it depends on like what your regular heart rate is. And then when you're stressed, it probably spikes up. So this was something that was really fascinating. You can get data on how stressed you are throughout the day. So there's like my stress levels, and it'll turn red at certain points when you're extra stressed, or, you know, of course it'll turn, you know, blue when you're not too stressed. That's really fascinating. If I know I've had a stressful day at work, I'm like, ooh, I want to see if this has accurately tracked during the time of day when I was most stressed. What I like about this too is like, you know, as I get older, I'm starting to learn that wellness isn't just about, you know, tracking your macros or like lifting heavy at the gym. It really is about like your mind, body, and like emotional state. So I've kind of gamified this. I've tried to see like how well I can maintain my stress levels at like a really low level. And it's just cool to have a tech that can actually track how your stress levels are. Like, it's just really nice to know my stress levels throughout the day. It even gives you a stress ratio for the day as well. So like, if you could see this, there's like different percentages. So it'll tell you like how many hours you were relaxed for the day, how many hours you were in your normal state, in medium level of stress, and high level of stress for the day. And it even shows you how stressed you were before you went to sleep and how stressed you were during your sleep. Another interesting thing is like this can do a whole like trend for you. So we'll show you your stress levels throughout the days of a week or throughout the days of a month. I mean, I haven't gotten that long. I've only gotten a 1 week summary so far, but that's been really good. Another thing, I think everyone's talked about this one, but of course, like being able to track your sleep with RingConn has been incredible. And the reason it's been incredible is I get terrible sleep. I mean, I kind of knew this because I know I like to stay up late, and then I know I usually have to get up early for like meetings, but actually seeing it in quantifiable numbers, like this says a couple of days ago, it's showing here that I only had 5 hours and 20 minutes of sleep. And it gave me a little notification that says, pay attention to your sleep. And it's important, like good sleep recovery is the foundation of health. Based on how you feel, consider engaging in moderate exercise. So it just like, it tells you like these little informational tidbits. Oh my gosh, one night I only had 4 hours and 50 minutes of sleep. As some of you know, if you follow me on socials, you know that I was at AWE, which is this big conference for AR and VR. And the nights that I was there, I was not getting any sleep because obviously there's a lot of people to see and a lot of things to do. So that's when I was averaging like 4 hours and 50 minutes of sleep. And it was showing me a 76% sleep efficiency. I think the main thing here is when I'm seeing, it's one thing to know that you're like sleep deprived or that you're feeling tired or you know you went to bed late and then woke up early. That's like one thing. But it's another thing to actually have like data that is tracked that shows you like, okay, you only had 5 hours and 20 minutes of sleep the day before yesterday, and then only like 5 hours and 45 minutes the day after, and then only 4 hours and 50 minutes today. And like all of this is building up in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have not gotten enough sleep for like several days now, and I'm starting to see the spike in my stress levels in the app. And yeah, just overall, it's like the ability to see all of this data has just been really good about making me more mindful about my habits, pretty much. Now, as I mentioned earlier, like there is other data in here that's quite interesting, like your skin temperature, your respiratory rate, your oxygen saturation level, etc. But I've had this ring for 2 weeks, so I have not had enough time to like really understand any of these other metrics and data. But it's been really interesting to see like my steps, my sleep habits, my stress levels. This also has the ability to check if you have sleep apnea. So you just turn on like the sleep apnea test and you can use that. I know I don't have sleep apnea, so I have not tried it, but I do know other people that have tried it to just check how they're sleeping throughout the evening. So that's a really neat little tool. There is also AI built into this app, which is in beta mode, and it will create, like it can generate a plan for you on how to improve your overall wellness depending on the stat it's gathered. But again, I haven't been using this long enough to know how useful any of this information is. Other things it does, of course, is track your calories. I think that's pretty obvious. It'll tell you your activity score in terms of a percentage. It'll tell you how many steps you did for the day, like how many calories you like burned 30 minutes of the day. It tells you how many calories you burned, so you can see it pretty granularly how your calories are burned throughout the day. It'll also tell you if you were like active for the day, like what your activity intensity is. Like today I didn't work out at all, so mine's pretty low throughout the day. And it'll record your exercise. It'll also tell you how much you've stood throughout the day. I mean, basically this thing tracks so many biometric markers in your body, and it tracks it 24/7 for up to 10 days before you have to take it off for like say 30 minutes or so to charge it. So that's really, really impressive. I actually don't even know how long it takes to charge. Let's check. Okay, it takes 1 hour to fully charge the RingConn, so it doesn't even take that long. The other thing I really love about this ring over say something like an Apple Watch is it's so minimal. Like there's no screens on this. It's not distracting me. I feel like I already have too many things trying to fight for my attention every single day. And so I really like that this has nothing. Like there's no vibrations in it. There's no screen. There's absolutely nothing to distract me. It is basically just there, super minimal, and you barely notice it at all. Like this is how it looks on my hand. And it's just like, if you want the data, you can access it through your app, but otherwise, like this does not disrupt my day-to-day life. And I just really like how simple it is to use. It's simple, it is reliable, and it tracks so much more data than your Apple Watch, which you have to take off for like 8 hours a day so that it can charge overnight while you're sleeping. Again, I've only tried this for 2 weeks now. Like I said, there's so many different things in this app that I just don't even know what to do with yet. But if you like this video, let me know if you want me to do a follow-up on what it's like after say a month of using this ring and any new things that I've discovered. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.